gorilla stomping in a zoo. Check the vocals, animals gather right. Boom.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. So on today's video, we're going to be beginning our next project. And I say beginning is because it's kind of late in the afternoon and my wife is working tonight and I'm taking care of this little man right here. And so we got our things going on. But I figured I got a little bit of time here now that I can get ahead a little bit on the project. And that project is going to be another raised garden bed. So raised garden bed number 2. We've kind of been overdue on making this. We're getting, halfway through July here now. And, the planting season is dwindling. Now, our season didn't really begin until the beginning of July anyways. June was still pretty cold. But we're still a few weeks behind at the least. So getting this second raised garden bed done is of utmost priority now at this point. The chicken coop is done, the chickens are out in it. We got a nice new feeder that's working out well. All those videos are on the channel if you care to go back and watch them. But what we're going to be doing is this raised garden bed number 2. This is going to be an identical raised garden bed as to what you saw us build on the Mother's Day episode. So if you want to see that one as well, there may be more details in that video than what's going to be in this one. That's the Mother's Day episode, so if you go back, you'll find that. So this one is kind of going to be more of a quick build, alright? There's a little bit less detail, a little bit more just bang out the measurements and slap it all together, okay? So don't expect a whole lot of detail in this one when all the detail is already in that Mother's Day episode. So with all that said, I think the time that I have today is going to be appropriate for getting our cut list done and getting those boards cut to size. We got a little bit more cutting this time around than we did last time, and the reason for that is because with the current human malware situation going on around the world, everybody's doing home improvement projects, it would seem, and that includes fences and patio decks. And so getting your hands on some of this 1x6 wood is getting to be a challenge. You see in our fencing video, I can't get any fence boards right now. I'm still trying to get fence boards ordered in. They're totally out of stock. Between Home Depot and our equivalent of Lowe's, they're out of stock. So we're starting to run into problems of supply and demand here when it comes to raw materials. So it's a good thing that I went out a little bit early and picked up this cedar for completing the next raised garden bed. But as a result, like I say, some of these boards, instead of being 8-foot lengths, they're 10-foot lengths. So we're going to have a bit more wastage. And if it comes down to it, we'll just have a nice smelling cedar wood for fire. If we eventually build a fire pit, would be great. But yeah, that's about it for now. We're just going to get started, get some cutting done. I'm going to take the miter saw out in the driveway to keep from making too much of a mess here on the inside. And if anything, by the end of this part of the video, we'll just have the cutting done. Alright, we'll have our pieces made. And we'll be at least that much further ahead for when my wife is off work and I'm able to resume this and put it all together properly. Alright, so let's get outside and get this project started. Alright, so to start out our cutting, we'll do the side planks. That's the 8-foot length 1x6s. Now, if you recall, the difference with these 1x6s, they're not going to be exactly 8 feet. They're going to be 2 inches shorter than 8 feet. and that's going to accommodate the end walls. Once we add the 1-inch boards onto those end walls, that's going to be protruding into the planter box. So we need to accommodate for those by leaving that inch of leeway on either side. So the 8-foot boards, there's going to be 4 per side, so a total of 8, and they'll be 8 feet minus 2 inches. Alright, so if you're keeping track, we got our 8-foot long boards done. And remember, they're not exactly 8 feet, they're 94 inches, okay? So that's the exact measurement of 8 of those boards. So next, we're going to do, what we got? We got 4 sides, and we got 2 ends of 4 feet. So we're going to be doing 4 boards on each of those. So we need 8 4-foot lengths, and these are going to be exactly 4 feet, okay? So no taking inches off or anything with these. So we'll do 8 4-foot pieces, and then we'll keep going from there. Alright, so that concludes the 1x6 cuts for now. Next is going to be moving on to the 2x4s. So we're going to need 2 8-foots per side, as well as 2 4-foots per end. And then we'll have multiple 19-inch studs. I'll just have to count up exactly what that is. I'm pretty sure it's around 16 of the 19-inch studs. Okay, so we'll do our 4 4-foots and our 4 8-foot cuts of the 2x4s. Alright, so now that I got those 2x4s finished up, I'm going to move on to the 4x4s, and I'm going to do 22-inch high legs, and that'll be 4 of those. Alright, they're not so much legs as they are corner joins for all the wall pieces that we're going to be making, but it's all going to be 22 inches in height, so I'll make 4 of those at 22 inches, and we'll have those ready. Alright, I just went up to the other raised garden bed and confirmed we need 16 of the 19-inch studs. So I'm going to do all those in one take. Alright, so let's begin. Alright, boys and girls, that concludes our cutting session. As you can see here, these are all the pieces that we cut. So this here is a raised garden bed, deconstructed or not constructed. Alright, so just like those fancy sandwiches you get with a deconstructed sandwich, this is a deconstructed raised garden bed. So all the cuts are done. We're not going to get to put this together today, as I alluded to. You guys will not notice the difference. This video will continue on to actual assembly day. But as far as my day here at this time, in the present, not your future that you will be in while watching this video, my construction day has come to a completion. My wife has to go to work. I gotta watch my boy, relax, maybe have an adult beverage, enjoy the rest of this sunny evening. And yeah, so that completes the cutting. Hopefully you guys followed along. You can make your own. You can modify it as you see fit. Now, where I had the 10-foot long 1x6s as well, we got those ends kept right here. I do have a future purpose for those. For those who are watching right now, I'll give you a spoiler. It involves building frames around trees and filling them full of mulch. I don't have enough for a lot, but I can do some. Alright, so that's going to clue up this part, and we'll see you right back here when we get to assembly. See you then. Alright everybody, welcome back. It's day number 2. We were doing the cutting yesterday, so now we got another beautiful 22°C day, and we are going to do the actual construction and put it all together. So I got my little helper here is going to be helping for little bits and pieces, and we got a little bit of wind blowing, so may cover up a bit of the microphone sound, but hopefully you guys can hear us, and we'll get to work. So we'll start bringing out the wood, get everything lined up, and we'll get to assembly. Alright, so now that I got the wood outside, we're going to start assembly. One thing I did off camera, I went to the 8-foot boards there, and I marked a space every 2 feet, and that's to accommodate where the studs are going to go. So I just got those markings made, and I did that on the 4-foots as well. At the 2-foot mark, I made a mark, so that's where the middle stud will go on those ends. So that's all I've done off camera. This is just going to be straight up assembly. Now, as fast as I can assemble this is what I'm going to do. You don't really need to, if you went back to the Mother's Day video, you'll kind of see all the ins and outs of everything, but this is just going to be trying to bang this out as fast as I can, okay? So let's see how that goes.
Am I holding it myself?
You're holding it yourself.
After all.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. All the way in. Keep going. Keep going until I say. the button all the way in.
Going?
Done. Now we'll do one more.
That one fell.
Keep going now, all the way. All the way. All the way, push it all the way in. Good. Good job. High five.
I did it really hard.
Alright, so all the walls are done. We got lots of people mowing their grass around here, so lots of noise. But the walls are done. I'm going to try and tow them up on the site using the lawn tractor. We'll see how that goes. And we'll put it together on site instead of having it all together here and needing the truck to bring it up. We'll just try bringing it up into 4 pieces, assemble it on site, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll get it loaded up now. Alright, so we got the main raised garden bed together in place. If you remember from the first one though, I'm just going to do a top lip. So I'm getting my measuring tape now. I'll do some measurements and do a couple of cuts off camera, no big deal. And we'll do that top lip just more for decoration than anything, okay? It doesn't really serve a big purpose. It's not going to affect the weatherability of the garden bed or anything. But if anything, it's just a nice little lip to lean on when you're doing your gardening. And like I say, it just adds a few aesthetics. So I'll go get those measurements, make those cuts, come back here, we'll put on the top lip. And then as far as the main box structure, we're done. All right, so let's get that done now. here's the final product. Everything has been installed, put together. We had to do this last board at the end off camera because I actually ran out of memory. So I had to go and dump the card and come back and record this. But there you are, raised garden bed number 2 is complete. That turned out nicely. And here's a quick little view of the current garden, progressing nicely. No real issues since. And so far so good. So alright everybody, that's going to conclude today's raised garden bed build. So we got 2 raised garden beds now. So the only thing left with this one is to get it leveled, get some hardware cloth put across the bottom to keep any critters from burrowing up into it, and get it leveled off and get it filled. So you'll probably see another video doing those things. It'll probably be a shorter video because it's it's pretty straightforward. Not going to have all the ins and outs of going back and forth to the garden mix pile just to fill this up. But as far as leveling it, getting that hardware cloth on the bottom, and then filling it, that'll probably be the next video. And we got to decide what we're going to plant in here. We're getting towards the end of the summer. August is just around the corner, so we got to decide what type of plants we're going to be putting in here that will thrive during the late part of summer and early fall. So I think that'll conclude everything for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that you learned something, and maybe you too can copy this raised garden bed design and build one for yourself. So until next time, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, take care of each other, and peace out!